Hi everybody, welcome to Diamond Mimo Sparkles. This is Jennifer White and I'm glad to have you here today. So I haven't posted anything for quite some time. I've just had a lot of stuff going on in my life. So I will get into that today and kind of let you know what's been going on. But before I do that, how have you guys been doing? We're getting close to the holiday season, so I'm sure everybody's starting to get ready for Thanksgiving and Christmas. So, has anybody started Christmas shopping yet? I have done a little bit, not much at all. I have found a few things on TikTok that I wanted to check out. So I've got some stuff ordered through them. But other than that, I really haven't started doing too much Christmas shopping yet. Before I get too far along, let you know what I'm working on. So I am working on Floral Yorkie Puppy. It's a Diamond Art Club painting, and the artist is Marilyn Cazenave, Cazenave. I apologize, I'm sure I butchered her name, but it's a 20 by 20. I'm really liking it. It's really beautiful. I love all the pinks. They're so sparkly. I did add a couple colors, or a couple added ABs. So for this AB, or for this diamond 602, I'm adding an AB for everything that is C. So I don't have any of that in this section here. And then for 963, I am just sprinkling it in with the regular 963 and putting it throughout the diamond painting. So this is the first time I've ever blinged up anything on my own without having somebody tell me where to put the bling. So I'm a little nervous, but yet excited to see how it turns out. So I'll make sure and keep everybody updated, and definitely put out a final picture of it, or a final video when it's done. So so a little bit about what's going on with me. The reason you haven't seen me, there's been several reasons. One of them is I did take a new job. I had a friend who had been recruiting me for about a month or so. And I just kept telling her, no, I didn't want to do management again, because it is a management position. I didn't really want to have to, you know, honestly deal with staff. Sometimes you get staff who don't really care about what they're doing. And I definitely hated all the time commitment that I had to commit when I was in management before, because I had no work-life balance at all. So she had called me one day and said, hey, you know, applications are coming in and we're doing interviews, and I really, really want you to interview. She said, you know, if I have any input, she says, I know your skills and I know your passion for hospice, so I would really love to work with you. So I said, okay, fine. I'll at least put my application in and do an interview. So I did do that, and interviewed with the human resource department. And then they called me and set up a second interview with another corporate clinical person. So I did interview with her, and I asked all the questions about some of the things that, you know, always concern me about going into management again. And I really liked the support that is given by home office. to this position. My position is the Manager of Clinical Services, or MCS. So I really I'm thankful for the support that the company has for that position. They do a lot of the auditing, a lot of the QA stuff. So a lot of that stuff is taken off of the MCS's plate. And then one of the other issues I was concerned about was on call. So all the other hospices I've worked with, there's always had to be an administrative person on call, and it was usually the clinical director, which would be me, and then an administrator, which we don't have an administrator because my position is kind of like the clinical and operational position as well in one. So I was concerned about what on-call would look like. So come to find out, they actually have somebody from home office that does administrative call. So I don't have to really worry about that. And then we have nurses that take the on-call spots. So I still have good, still have a really good home life work balance, because that was probably my biggest concern. So they did offer me the position, and I, of course, took it, and gave my notice at my place where I was working at. Of course, they didn't seem to be very happy. I didn't get very many, I'm so happy for you. You know, we always like to see people grow. I mean, just nothing. I wish you success in your new position. Pretty much nothing from my supervisors, but you know, it's fine. It's okay. So I started my new job on October the 14th, and they'd like for you to, they have a whole checkoff list for training. So basically, I was going to have to follow a nurse, watch so many visits, and then do so many visits myself or chart them, plus do some admissions and deaths. So they wanted me to go to Omaha, Nebraska to do that. And then also work with their MCS up there. So I went to Nebraska. I left here on my very first day, October 14th, and went up there and did all my onboarding, paperwork stuff, and got me logged into all the applications that I needed to be able to log into. And then on Tuesday, I started working and following their nurses up there to see patients and learn all the charting. So I did that Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of that week. And then Thursday, after we got done seeing patients, I went to go work in the office. And it was probably, I would say, around 3 o'clock maybe. Somewhere in there. And I was in the conference room by myself and was looking at some stuff on the computer and just kind of getting familiar with stuff. And I got a text message from my sister telling me that my dad had started to what they call transition, meaning he was declining and death was imminent. So I shared that text message with my bosses because I'm thinking, I just started this new job. What am I going to do? I want to be, I want to be at home with my mom and my sister and my dad. And I just had so many emotions going on. And my direct supervisor, who was the one that recruited me, had also been in Nebraska, but she had left and went back on Wednesday because she had other things she was doing on Thursday. And then her supervisor was working in the office where I was at, and she came in the office and was so kind and told me I just needed to go ahead and go because I was supposed to leave on Friday afternoon. but she told me to go ahead and go back to Topeka, and then go to my mom and dad's, because my mom and dad's live 3 hours from where I live, so 6 hours from where I was. So she was very kind, told me not to worry about my job. Everything was fine. Just go and be there as long as I needed to be there. So I drove back to where I live at, which was a 3-hour drive. Got home late that evening, packed another suitcase to get ready to leave early Friday morning and head to my mom and dad's. So I got there, I probably got there around 9:30 in the morning. I left pretty early. And my dad was definitely much different than he was when I had seen him the last time. He was bedbound and pretty much completely non-responsive. So our focus at that point then for my sister and I was just to help make sure he was comfortable, and that he wasn't having any anxiety. And actually when I got there, his hospice nurse and hospice aide were there, and they were giving him a bed bath, getting him cleaned up, and helping getting him comfortable before they left. But he started having that rattling that people when they're passing get in their throat. It's really moist and rattly, and it's really hard to listen to. Usually it does not really affect the patient. It doesn't really make them uncomfortable. That is just the saliva on the vocal cords because they can't swallow. So it's just their rattling. So he got some medicine in him to try and help him with that. Repositioned him, pulled him up in the bed, got his bed up. And of course, this was kind of throughout the day. We were giving him his morphine that he could have, his Ativan that he could have to help keep him comfortable. And about 9:15, actually 9:12 to be exact, my dad took his last breath. I'm just so grateful and thankful that I was able to be by his side, and to be there to support my mom and my sister. So, I stayed, so that was Friday. I stayed all day Saturday. My sister and I went with my mom to the funeral home, to get all the arrangements made on Saturday and get everything picked out for the funeral. And my sister was working really hard on getting like the music lined up, all those kind of things. And I'm so grateful for her because she had my dad's obituary pretty much already written. So me and my brother, all we had to do was just kind of read it and, suggest any changes that we thought might needed to be changed. But she was truly, truly amazing. I'm so thankful for her and, just being there for my mom. She's just truly been a lifesaver. So, I stayed till that Sunday, and then I went ahead and came home and went back to work on Monday because I had an all-day training on Tuesday and then some other training the other days, but I worked Monday through Thursday, And then we headed back to my mom's Friday so we could be there for the visitation with the, the family visitation at the funeral home. And then his funeral was that Saturday. So he passed one weekend, and we had the funeral and burial the next weekend. So that really had kind of sucked the life out of me at that time. But again, I was so grateful for my sister because she was just amazing. She actually took some FMLA and was able to, be with my mom. And she also had some vacation time. So she spent the next week after Dad's funeral, she helped Mom, like getting her name changed on credit cards, all those, financial things that had to be changed. So they got that taken care of the next week. So honestly, for the most part, I've been doing pretty good because I know where my dad is, and I know he's at peace and no longer suffers. So I'm so glad about that. I was really worried about my mom because, she'd been taking care of him for over a year. Like, she had retired from her job and had stayed home with him and took care of him. I mean, she's always helped take care of him because he's, hasn't always been healthy the last few years, but she became his total caregiver about a year and a half ago, and as his dementia continued to decline, she continued to have to do more and more for him. But he's very, very lucky to have such a wonderful wife that loved him so much, because she just was wonderful. But I was a little worried about her and how she would do with so much time on her hands, but I've been calling and checking on her and talking to my sister, and she's really doing over well, pretty good. She gave me my dad's Bible when we were there for the funeral, and one of his hankies, because he always carried a hanky. And then my sister just texted me today and said Mom's on a cleaning spree and wanted to know if any of us wanted any of Dad's jackets. So I said, absolutely, I'll take one of them. So she's just kind of going through things slowly but surely, but she's keeping herself busy, and every time I talk to her, she sounds really good. She doesn't sound depressed, or I'm sure later in the evening when she gets ready to go to bed, that's probably when it hits the most, I'm guessing. But otherwise, she's doing good. I'm doing okay. I have my moments sometimes, but overall, I'm doing fine. So since I've been back, I really have just been doing a lot of training with my new job. I flew out to Minnesota this week. Was in Minnesota for a couple of days, 3 days, for some training. That's where our home office is. So that was really nice. And I'm just trying to take it all in and learn it all. So it can be a bit overwhelming, just because, everybody does everything different. I'm not like their old boss. My expectations are probably different than their old bosses. How to handle different situations were probably handled differently than what I might handle them. So just trying to figure all that out, without stepping on too many toes, but also holding people accountable, because I'm being held accountable for stuff. So anyway, so got my new job. My dad did pass away and go to heaven. My mom's doing good. I'm doing good. The kids are all doing good. Trying to think. My oldest son, we've talked about him, John. He's doing okay. He's the one that is in jail. And he goes to court at the end of January, so we'll kind of have an idea. He's in jail for a probation violation, so we'll see how that turns out. I'm sure he's going to have to go do some time. It's just a matter of how much, and then if he'll be on probation again when he gets out. So we'll see how that goes. But he's in good spirits and doing well. We were really worried about how he would do with my dad's passing, because when he was younger growing up, he was very, very close to my dad. I know that we're not supposed to have favorites, but I think John was probably one of his favorites for many different reasons. But John did really well. The church streamed the service, and his lawyer made sure that they had allowed him to be at a computer so he could watch the funeral online. So he was really grateful and thankful for that, and called us after the funeral and checked on us. And he was sad, but he's doing okay. And then there's my daughter Cindy. She's the one that also works for hospice, but she works for the hospice company that I used to work for, and she's doing wonderful. I talked to her actually today, and she had her grandson last night. Gosh, I don't know that he's a year old yet. I don't think he's a year old yet. He's probably close to 9 months, maybe, somewhere in there, maybe 10. But she had him last night. She said he was a hot mess and didn't want to sleep. So she had a long night, she said. But he is just the cutest little thing ever. And then my youngest daughter, Selma, she's doing good. Her job is keeping her busy, and her boys are keeping her busy. She's the one with the 2 boys, one that's 9 and one that's 8. The 8-year-old's the one that's autistic. Poor little guy got suspended from school the other day. You think, how can an 8-year-old get suspended from school? Well, unfortunately, when Jonathan doesn't get his way sometimes, or he just gets really worked up, it's hard to bring him back down. And he was hitting, spitting, stomping on the teacher's feet, and they just couldn't seem to help him calm down. So his Aunt Nene went and picked him up, and he got to spend the rest of the day with her. So that was Thursday. And then Friday, I take them to school on Friday mornings. So I took him to school on Friday, and he was really good. Got right out of the car for me. There's a couple little girls there that really like Jonathan and try to help him when he's angry and upset, or like when he won't get out of the car. The one little girl came over to the car as soon as we pulled up and helped get him out of the car, and Jonathan got right out. The day prior to that, he would not get out of the car for anybody. And that's the day he ended up getting in trouble at school too. So, I mean, he finally did get out of the car, but my daughter had called me, and a lot of times I can talk him out of the car, but he wouldn't get out of the car for me. And probably 99% of the time, if they call Papa, he will get out of the car for Papa, but he wouldn't get out of the car for Papa either. So he must have just been having a bad morning. He doesn't do well with transitions, like from home to school or school to home, or any of those things. He used to, when we used to have to go pick him up from school, he would have behaviors. He got to the point where they couldn't even get him to come outside of the school. So now we have to pick him up in a different area of the school. I think his room might be closer to that door, so then he doesn't have so much stimulation between his room and getting picked up. And we haven't had any problems since that's been changed, so that's good. And then Kyle, he's my youngest grandson. He's 3. I haven't got to see him for a while. Unfortunately, when I was going through this stuff with my dad and with all the training and stuff, I just hadn't talked to him. That's just a horrible excuse. I did try to call him today. I was going to see if maybe he wanted to come spend a couple hours with us tomorrow. His mom said he's at his other grandma's house because she wasn't feeling well. So whenever he gets back home, either today or tomorrow, she'll have him FaceTime me and we'll chit chat for a little bit. And depending on what time that is and when it is, we'll see if he wants to come hang out with us for a little while tomorrow. But as far as I know, he's doing well too. I know he's having some problems. He's my son's son. And so he has some anger because his dad's not around, and he's mad that he doesn't get to see him or talk to him very much. So, but other than that, he's fine. I finished, the last painting I was doing was called, was it Heavenly Child? Child of Heaven. I had gotten that finished, so my husband and I took that to Hobby Lobby today to get framed. I think I'm going to put that in my office at work for a while. So I'll get it back in a couple of weeks. And then I've already told you I'm working on the floral Yorkie puppy. And then I also had started working on some Christmas ornaments, the nutcrackers. Is it the nutcrackers? Is that what they are? I have almost all of those done, and then I'll start kind of working on some more of those. I had started working on those while I had to do what they call Relias training, and I still have Relias training to do. I got to get that done this weekend. I work on it while I listen to the trainings because they're so small and of course don't take very long. I had went to Michael's and had bought a bunch of stuff from Michael's, some Christmas paintings, and I had taken one of them out and had started working on it, but the drills were just not the best in my opinion, and I was getting frustrated when I placed them. So unfortunately I got irritated and got rid of it. And I still have a couple more that need to be done, but I'm not probably going to do them. I don't know what I'm going to do with those. I might give them to my granddaughter. She's older, she's graduated. It's my daughter's stepdaughter. Her name's Carly. And see if she wants them and wants to do them. She's done a little bit of diamond painting, not a lot, but a little bit here and there. So we'll see if she wants to do it. If not, I may just donate them to like the Goodwill or the God store, and they can use them and they'll sell them, and which is fine. And then my next painting I'm going to do is, I think it's called Flower Girl. Let me see here. It's called Flower Crazy. It's a Diamond Art Club. So I'm going to do her next. I got to look and see how much bling she has. See if I want to bling it up any and order some more diamonds, drills if I need to. So I'm going to check that out. I got the painting out last night. I haven't got the drills or anything out yet. Here a while back, I had got probably 5, 10, 15, 20, about 25 of my paintings. I just picked 25. and said, okay, these are the next 25 I'm going to work on. And I got them all divided up, put them in tubes with just squares in a tube and just rounds in a tube. And so that's kind of how I've been choosing most of my paintings here recently. So I had flowers, crazy. That just doesn't even sound right. But anyway, that's what it says on there. So I just picked it out. It's a bigger painting, but it looks like it's a lot of color blocking. So I'm going to work on that. I also have a Randall Spangler one that I had started. I didn't get very far on it, but I have it put away. I need to probably work on that a little bit too at some point. I don't know why I don't like it. I like the painting, but I'm not enjoying too much doing it. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because it's not bright colors. I don't know. What do y'all think? Could be because there's a lot of browns. I really don't like doing paintings that have a lot of brown and blacks in them. And I've learned that over time. And my Randall Spangler paintings are ones that I bought when I very first started doing diamond painting. So I probably just didn't know any better. Didn't really know what I didn't know. Didn't know what I really liked and what I didn't like. But it's all good. So I'm going to start on that one next. And doing some of my ornaments, because I got some more ornaments that I got to work on besides the Nutcracker. So I'll be working on those in between. So what are you guys doing? Any events over the holidays? Anybody participating in jingle drills? I was going to, but I was going to have to dig through all my paintings to grab one, because I don't have one in my 25 that I was just talking about. And I didn't want to buy another diamond painting because I'd already bought a couple. Even though I said I wasn't going to buy any more, besides all the ones I bought at Hobby Lobby and Michael's. But I'd ordered one from, I just ordered one from Art and Soul that I'm going to do in March. It's one of the Care Bears that has a colorful, what is it called for autism? Anyway, it's got one of those on it, so I think that's the one I'm going to do for the Regathon. I love a bunch of her Christmas ones, but I just couldn't buy any more. But other than that, I'm not going to participate in any events, because I end up getting frustrated because I usually can't finish what I need to finish in the amount of time that it needs to be done in. So I decided not to do that. I'm just going to work on the ones that I have in my stash and kind of work on them as I go, and however I decide to pull them out of the tubes. So, and then I bought another one. It's also from somebody that's newer. Somebody, I can't remember if it was Ditzy. I don't think it was Ditzy. Somebody had it on their channel, had this company on their channel. It's clear in the other room where I would go get it. I'll try and remember to post the name of it on my next video, the company. And so I had supported them and went and bought one, but I'm stopping now. I'm not buying any more paintings until I get some of these in my stash done. My little diamond painting area is getting so crowded and cluttered with all my diamond painting stuff. I don't have room, so I can't afford to buy anymore. As far as room space goes, I can't afford to buy anymore. I really can't afford to buy any more financially either, because it just sits here forever. I really don't have anything else really to talk about or to catch up on, but I knew I hadn't been on here for a while, and so I just wanted to touch base, say hello to everybody. I miss you guys. I love the diamond painting community. I wish I knew more people personally from the diamond painting community, because everybody's just so kind and so caring, and I truly, truly, truly enjoy the time that I do get to spend with you guys. And I say spend with you in watching your videos. I'm so far behind on videos too. I got to get caught up on videos as well. But I miss you guys, and I hope to do another video either later this next week or over the weekend. I am planning to go see my mom next weekend, so I'm going to try really hard to get it done before that. So I think that's all I have for today. Again, thank you so much for coming to watch my video today, and I pray that you all are doing well. Please hit the like button and subscribe so that you can see when I post more videos. Thank you, and have a wonderful weekend. Bye.